You're about to watch a clip from the Videomaker podcast. If you want to see the whole episode, click the link in the description.
Thinking is why that was my trick question here, Mike, is like, why do you illuminate? Well, is to tell your story. You know, you want to tell your story the best way. So how do you support your story? Well, by lighting your subjects so that people can see them, but also to convey mood and all the rest, those feelings that you're going to have that hopefully your viewer will never be aware of or ever thinking about. If your audience, if your viewer is thinking about your lighting, likely the scene's not lit well, or they're like a nerd and they're studying your lighting.
So I would disagree with you a little bit here, Chris, which is that if we're talking about what is the purpose of lighting, maybe the answer to your trick question is there is not a singular purpose.
No, totally.
And that the idea of using light to tell a story is really kind of like advanced lighting, right?
Oh, totally.
So you can tell a story without any artificial light, or you can tell a story just with pure natural smooth lighting through the whole thing and still be dramatic. Braveheart proves that, right?
Totally.
There's like a couple of scenes where it's dark but very few.
But even the most dramatic scene in the film, right at the very end, when he's they put him on the rack or something, right?
Broad daylight.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Just whatever was outside, like that's kind of what it was.
I think that scene's interesting because they go back and forth. Like William Wallace is being tortured, but then they go to Longshanks and he's in his room dying, and it's kind of dark and so going back and forth between those two.
Yeah. Well, although, and if we look at these big war scenes that have come out since, we see a lot more kind of dramatic things happening. So maybe we could look at Lord of the Rings as was a film that came out a few years later. That now these movies are happening, or these battle scenes are happening at night. And they're lit by the moonlight or something, What was the other one? Game of Thrones kind of did the same thing. They had this that scene where it took place in this muddy field or something, and Jon Snow got dogpiled by all these dudes. It was like this really gritty, high contrast thing. The same thing with Saving Private Ryan when they're storming the beach. It was very high contrast.
Yeah. And sometimes the thing about the lighting, I mean, the dark scenes, you'd be amazed at how many lights it takes to light up a dark scene. And it's usually because you have to be really deliberate, right? It's easy to just throw a bunch of light on and get enough light, but using it to convey a message that is totally advanced lighting. But it's more of my point of like all of the tools are hopefully to help you make your story better. Like it's not that your story's bad to begin with. It's just applying advanced knowledge in this case will help edify your story or lift up certain points or help make them easier for the audience to get or what have you.